One, we can just go, like I can just quickly go through the presentation. Camera, and then come over and answer any questions about it. Sounds good if you don't want to. Yeah. I can only go like 7. Sounds good. Ready? Yep. Okay. All right. Starting. We're good. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our annual Title I informational meeting. My name is Brian Williams. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services for the Windsor Unified School District, and we are grateful that you are here or joining us online to discuss Title I program and how we can work together to support our students to help them become successful. Tonight, we're going to talk about the purpose of Title I and what it includes. We're going to discuss how our district uses the funds. We're going to go over our parent rights and then also talk about ways that we can engage with our school and our district. So Title I is a federally funded program that provides additional educational services to schools with high percentages of students from low-income families. This goal is to ensure that all children have access to a fair and equitable and high-quality education. Through Title I funding, our school can offer supplemental programs, resources, and professional development to support student learning gaps and close achievements. Typically, Title I works in 2 ways that you can be targeted assistance, and that's schools that typically are below 55% free and reduced lunch, or you can be school-wide assistance, which is schools that are over 55%. All of the schools in the Windsor Unified School District are considered targeted. So when we talk about the funding, it'll be about how we're using the funds to specifically work with students that need additional support. So let's talk about how we use the funds. Well, number one thing that we use for the funds is hiring additional staff. And most of the funds that we have are being utilized at Brooks Elementary to hire additional instructional aides. We can also enables us to invest in technology, instructional materials, and other educational resources that support effective teaching and learning. We can provide supplemental programs like after-school tutoring, enrichment activities, and supplemental programs to enhance student learning and teacher development, professional development opportunities for teachers to continuously improve their instructional practices. Now, your rights as a Title I parent, well, number one, you have the right to be informed. You have the right to know about your child's academic progress, and have a right to know about their teacher's qualifications. Some of you may have received a notice that has said that your teacher did not have the proper credential for that classroom. That is one of our Title I responsibilities. You also have the right to be involved. You can participate in developing and reviewing the school's parent engagement policy and compact. That will be sent out and published on our web sometime prior to the end of November. You can provide input and take decisions about how the Title I funds are used to support your child's education. And you can also request meetings to offer suggestions and participate in decisions about your child's education. In terms of for the overall plan development, Title I is a federal program, but we also receive local funds and funds from the state. And that goes into a process that we call the LCAP, the Local Control Accountability Plan. We do have a meeting about 3 to 4 times a year with our LCAP core committee, and that is representatives from every single school site, as well as teachers, administrators, and representatives from our unions. And they come together and we discuss the things that would go into our district-wide plan. You also have opportunities to participate in the school improvement plans. Those are plans that are done annually for each of the school sites. And the best way to participate in that process is to either be on the school site council or attend the school site council meetings. Those are public meetings and everyone can attend. When we're evaluating our parent engagement, and this is first thing we want to do is to work with parents to pinpoint obstacles for greater participation, especially for disadvantaged groups. This right now looks like our process for bringing volunteers onto campus. One of the barriers that we identified was the restrictions put around fingerprinting. One, it can be a pretty substantial cost, close to $75 to get your fingerprints done. And it's also a burden to have to drive typically to Santa Rosa or Healdsburg to find a place to get your fingerprints done. So the district identified that need, and now we're in the process of becoming our own fingerprinters so that we can subsidize the cost of fingerprinting for those families that are in need, and also make sure that we can get the maximum number of parents volunteering who want to volunteer. We also determine the needs. We often send out a survey that you may recognize called Youth Truth. That is a separate parent survey all the way from TK through 12th grade. And that informs things about, do you believe that your child is safe at school? Do you believe that the school has the proper resources? Is your child feeling a connection? So we take all of that feedback and that goes into our process. And then together we develop those strategies and we create plans to foster successful school and family interactions. So for instance, in our LCAP, we have 3 different goals. One is around student performance. The second one is around teacher improvement. And the third one is about our family and community engagement. So all of this parent engagement process goes into that third goal for our LCAP. So we do go through that process, and this is done in our LCAP core committee where we review the findings. We update any policies that need to be updated, and we continue that process as a collaborative process throughout the year to make sure that we are reducing all the barriers for parental participation. So yes, you can absolutely be involved. We've had parent advisory committees at the lower elementary level. There's right now only a few members that are involved, and we would like to see those committees growing. You also can participate in some of our other groups. We have our ELAC, which would be for our English Language Advisory Committee. We have our Title VI committee, that's our Native American population. And then we also, as I said, you can participate in some of our boosters organizations. Windsor Middle School has a boosters, Windsor High School has a boosters, Callie and Brooks and Maddie have a PTA, and then we also have CSTAR working in our community. The Parent Compact, as we said, will be going out before the end of November, and that just indicates that we have a shared responsibility for how parents, school staff, and students will work together to improve academic achievement. It is a collaborative agreement, and so we encourage parents, as you read through the compact, if there's things you want to contribute, we can look to update it. And then, of course, strengthening our partnerships, working together to create that environment that supports our child's learning and development. So opportunities to involvement, for involvement, we are always looking for volunteers, particularly at Maddie Washburn and Callie Kalmkek. Those are 2 areas that we can always use our volunteers. We offer workshops, particularly in our secondary level for our high school parents. For those of you who are experiencing the joy of having teenagers, oftentimes it's You can find out information about students who are struggling, but you can also find out information about how to access college. We do have college workshop nights in both English and Spanish. And then, of course, attending your parent-teacher conferences all the way from transitional kindergarten through 12th grade. We have our committees, like our LCAP core committee, our ELAC committees, our Title VI committees. And then, of course, we encourage that regular communication. We're responsible for reporting our student performance data. We go into these much more in depth after October when we get our scores for last year. So the scores that will be, these scores are actually 2 years old, but we scored 44% proficient in English language arts, 34% in mathematics, and we have a 97% graduation rate. And so that concludes this portion of the presentation, and we can go ahead and stop our online portion, and then I will engage with the people in here for any questions. Sorry about that. I had to get on video. Anything in particular that you'd like more information on, or if you have any questions or feedback or comments that you want to provide for the district?